This episode is brought to you by Cologuard. Do you know what's really scary? Not screening for colon cancer when you turn 45. The Cologuard test is non-invasive, requires no special prep or time off work, and ships right to your door. In just 3 simple steps, Cologuard takes the scare out of colon cancer screening. If you're 45 or older and at average risk, ask your healthcare provider about the Cologuard test. Cologuard is available by prescription only. Learn more or request a prescription today at Cologuard.com/screen.
The following is a Red Apple Podcast Network presentation.
They say this is a big rich town. I just come from the poet's part. Bright light, city life, I gotta make it.
Welcome to Dominic Carter's podcast. This is Dominic Carter's City Hall. Now, here's Dominic Carter.
Red Apple Podcast Talk Radio 77 WABC. You can listen to me, Dominic Carter, weekdays 3 to 4 p.m. live, then back again weeknights live midnight to 1 a.m. And don't forget Sundays 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. A retired world champion boxer living in the tri-state area and the fight of his life against cancer. His name is Bobby Czyz, and as far as he's concerned, he says, down goes cancer. Down goes cancer, down goes cancer. This is my podcast. Let's go. Life really can be about how you see it, even when you're dealing with a deadly foe like cancer. Like I always say, the glass is always half full, never half empty. Legendary boxer Bobby Czyz lives in Nutley, New Jersey, and let's talk to him right now about his remarkable life. His biggest fight, as you hear these big-time boxing announcers, was against Evander Holyfield.
Holyfield has never been in a fight that wasn't exciting.
Watch your heads!
And this one is starting to get a little bit more exciting than Evander would like it to be. He backs Czyz up into the ropes again. Evander's been very effective when Bobby Czyz has been pinned against the ropes.
Bobby Czyz, I wanted to speak to you because you have had a world champion boxing career and a remarkable life. I want to start this way. If I just throw out the term boxing, what comes to your mind?
Well, boxing is basically it's kind of like self-defense, but you're doing it here now as a sport, and you're doing it for a living. So it's a little bit different. It means a lot.
And so when you're doing boxing for a living, what exactly does that entail?
Well, basically, if you don't win a lot, you don't get paid a lot.
It's as simple as that.
It's as simple as that. If you're losing almost every fight, no one's gonna want to see you. No one's gonna want to pay attention, and you're not gonna get paid.
So, and you went to the very top. Define the very top of boxing for you.
Well, I won 3 world championships in 6 different weight divisions, and that's the first time it's ever been done in the state of New Jersey, ever.
Wow.
Pretty interesting.
Wow. Now, what divisions did you fight in?
I fought as a middleweight, super middleweight, won world titles at a light heavyweight, cruiserweight, super cruiserweight, and then fought as a heavyweight.
You fought as a heavyweight.
I fought Evander Holyfield.
You fought Evander Holyfield.
Yes, I did.
And what was that like?
It wasn't as bad as I thought, but the fight turned out to be really strange because he put something on his gloves. I tested before you go for a physical. My vision was 20/15 in both eyes 2 days before the fight. The day after the fight it was 20/40, 20/50. He had put something on his gloves. I found out 2 years later from police department that it was Tabasco sauce. That really irritated me pretty much.
He has something in his eye. He's saying there's liniment in his eye.
Burning like crazy. Burning like crazy. Let the man look. Both sides. Let the man look.
Sometimes you got to listen to your chief corner man.
Yeah, Czyz is complaining that he has a burning sensation in his eyes.
Shades of Cassius Clay versus Sonny Liston in Miami Beach.
And that's to give that boxer, and even though it's illegal, an edge in the fight because you can't see.
Exactly.
So you're telling me basically that Evander Holyfield, who would later fight Mike Tyson, saw you as a threat?
The very next fight after he fought me, he fought Tyson. The very next fight.
Wow.
Right. And Mike Tyson saw that that Holyfield did not have a good performance against me, so I don't think he trained as hard as he should have.
Wow. So, I'm being personal, but so what's the biggest purse you ever earned as a professional boxer?
Against Holyfield, $350,000.
$350,000. How much did he make for that fight?
I have no idea.
Wow.
I don't know his business. He knows his business. That's just what it is.
$350,000. And so, and then you still have to pay your team out of that amount.
Yeah, sure.
And so a fight like that against Evander Holyfield, how much do you get to walk away with?
Well, that depends on the tax bracket that you're in and what, in a number of different things, how savvy you are with the IRS. But 10% right off the top, $35,000 goes to my trainer. My cut man gets a piece. My sparring partners, I paid them up front to get me ready for the fight. And then you got to pay Uncle Sam, and so what's left over is yours.
And so Uncle Sam basically takes half, a little more. You walk away with a little more than half,
something like that.
Wow! So it's not as much money as people think.
Exactly. Everybody thinks it's the big money. That's monstrous amounts of money, but it's not.
So you fought Evander Holyfield. What is it like to train as a boxer for a big time fight? And is that because that part I would hate that, training for months for a fight?
Well, the training would break down into probably about 6 weeks. The first 2 weeks you're getting yourself ready for going to camp. Then the last 4 weeks you'll be in a training camp where you're running 5 to 6, 7 miles a day, 6 days a week. And then you're in the gym for 2 hours, and then you're doing your own stuff as far as exercising and conditioning yourselves and practicing things and studying his fights, studying his style. There are a whole lot to it that people don't see.
Is it like in the movie with Rocky, what he would do?
That's not really how it would. That's not really how it would work. No. That doesn't work like that.
Okay, so tell me how it works. In comparison to Rocky.
All right, you get up in the morning and you run your 5, 6, 7 miles, whatever it is that you're going to run. You come back to your house, you relax for a little while. You do some exercises. You maybe watch tapes of it, because you want to get his style in your head constantly and have your body trained so it just reacts almost like a reflex. When he throws a punch, you know where it's going and where it's coming from.
Almost like a robot.
Almost like a robot. Yeah, that's kind of a good way to put it. And then you relax. You have your breakfast. You have your lunch during the day. Then you go to the gym. Then you're in the gym for about, give or take, 2 hours, and you may spar with 3 or 4 different guys, one after another, fresh, to just to get yourself in condition. And hit the heavy bag. You'll do some shadow boxing. You'll do some speed bag. You'll jump rope. You'll do more exercises there too, just to get yourself and your body ready to go. And you'll increase it as the training camp goes on. But there's when you're in training camp, you're away from your family, you're away from your friends, you're away from everybody.
So Bobby Czyz Bobby Czyz, excuse me, we're talking to Bobby Czyz, a remarkable boxer who won a number of boxing titles, fought Evander Holyfield, has lived truly a remarkable life. We all have ups and downs. He's went through his. And I wanted to talk to him because the guy really is very, very interesting. And this is what I mean about you're very interesting. So you are one of the smartest boxers ever, right? And I'm not just stating that. It's been documented. Tell us why.
Well, yeah, there was one other fighter named Henry Milligan, who was a member of Mensa, but he didn't win a world title, but he still competed as a professional fighter. I'm the only world champion in history from any weight division in any country, anywhere ever, to be a member of Mensa.
And Mensa means the very smart...
Top 2% of the smartest people on the planet.
Wait a minute, Bobby Czyz. You're telling me that you're 2% of the American people in terms of the smartest ever?
2% of the entire world.
Oh, not just the American people, of the entire world.
2% of the smartest people on the planet.
So you're born like that. A person is born like that.
I guess so. I don't know. I can't define that. I don't know where that comes from. But that's what it is. Top 2% of the smartest people on the planet is member of Mensa.
And when did you know that you had these types of intellectual abilities?
Well, throughout high school, I had certain scores where it said your IQ is 132, your IQ is 135, your IQ is... And some of my friends said, that's genius area. Then one of my friends said, why don't you try for Mensa? I'd never even heard of Mensa. So, and this is going back. I tried out for Mensa in 1993. And they said, you can only take it you can only take the test one time. They'll never let you take it twice.
Wow.
One time only. And then they'll tell you. Now you could have other tests that qualify that if you submitted, if you took a test that had the value of what Mensa considers to be legitimate, if you score a certain score on that, that also can be considered yes. And lucky enough, I scored in the 130s.
So you're of the 2% of the entire world of the smartest people.
Yeah, that's what they say.
You don't seem like you're impressed by that.
I'm impressed by it, but at the same time, I'm still me. I have my friends. I know what I'm not. It doesn't make me any better than anybody else. I mean, technically, it makes me smarter than most people, but it's. I'm proud of it. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I'm not better than anybody else.
We are chatting with a legendary boxer, Bobby Czyz, who lives in New Jersey, had a number of titles as the champion. So tell me about your life.
My life is a little difficult to explain. My father was very hard on me and my brothers. So for years, it was only me, my two brothers, and then eventually my sister came along when I was 16. But at the same time, when I was 10 and my brother Vince was 9, my brother Tony was 7, my father, we moved from East Orange to Wanacue, the nice suburbs and whatnot. But he took us, and my mom took us after school to Patterson every day to train in the gym in Patterson. My father picked us up after work, took us home. But he forced us to fight. It was not an option. He forced all three of us to fight. And I said to him, for how long? He said, till I say so. Now, after 5 years, he said, you guys can quit. But when I was 15, I was beating grown men up. And I can do something with this here. I can make some money with this. I can be special. Now, here's my thing. I'm not religious. I don't believe in God. There are so many religions that in the year 2000, there was 3,300 religions. In the year 2020, there's 4,100 religions. Did 800 Jesus Christ show up and I missed them? I mean, to me, it's sort of like a crutch. Excuse me. Anyway, long and short of it, I don't think there's going to be a heaven or a hell, but I still want to live forever. The only way I could do that, my father said, is to be in the history books, be a president, be this, be somewhere that you make a spot. So the boxing, 3-time world champion for three different divisions. There's nobody but me. My name will live forever in the sports history books. So I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish.
So you had no choice on boxing?
No. I always wanted to be, when I was a little younger, I wanted to be a football player. And my father put me in the gym and told me I couldn't play football anymore. I had to stay in the gym, boxing.
Did you resent it?
Oh, yeah, quite a bit. And it didn't matter because when my father says something, you do it or you get a beating. And I mean a beating. Not a slap, a beating. And my father was brutal. He was a brutal disciplinarian. Not a lot I could do about it. But he also made you a champion. He helped make it, yeah. I mean, he didn't do it himself, but he pushed me in the right direction. And I have his name, Robert Edward Czyz Jr. is my name. So I'm his namesake, so it's only apropos that I did it. It sounds like part of you didn't want to do it. Not that I didn't want to do it. It's that I didn't want to be told what I had to do. I wanted to choose for myself. At the same time, After I was 15, when my father said, he told my brothers, "You can stop boxing." Told me you could stop boxing now. You're done. I said no. I said I have a future here. I'm gonna continue. So he gave me the green light to stop, and I didn't want to stop.
But it paid off.
Big time.
Did you know you were going to be a champion?
Tell you a funny story. I started boxing in the gym September of 1972. I was 10. The following February the 10th, I would be 11. The first time I sparred was February the 9th. The day before I turned 11. I sparred with a kid who's about 20 pounds heavier than me. Back then I weighed about 80 pounds. I was like, no, I was not a big guy. And I beat him silly. And my trainer in the gym got upset because my father was training me and he trained the other kid. And I beat the other kid up, I beat him silly. So he took him out and put another kid in who was 2 years older than me, only 10 pounds heavier than me, but he had won the Junior Olympics twice. And I looked at my father petrified, and he said, "Do what you do, son. Do it." And the next 3 minutes was almost like a blur. I couldn't even, but at the end of the round, I got a standing ovation from everybody in the gym. Everybody in the gym gave me a standing ovation. That day, I knew I was special. That day, I believed I would be a world champion someday. And I even predicted it would take me 14 years to win the world title. And September 6, 1986, at the age of 24, 14 years later, I won my first world title.
So when I say the name Mike Tyson, what comes to your mind?
First thing that comes to my mind is he's a great fighter, but he's also a good friend. We're pretty close, and we spend some time together when we can. He's a great fighter, and people don't give him enough credit, but it's one of those things where you have to be in his shoes and understand all the pressures that are on him too, not just the public appearances and all this and everything, but even the fighting. Everybody wants to start trouble with him just to get a lawsuit in. That's really, really sad. Mike's a great guy though.
Boxing can also be brutal.
No doubt about that.
I'm talking about the financial aspect,
yep.
Right? You're also dealing with some health issues, right?
Oh, right now? Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. I had
battling cancer?
I had been operated on October the 15th of 2024 with cancer in my nose and my neck. It's called squamous cell carcinoma, head and neck cancer. But it's just another fight I got to win. I ain't worried about it.
That's the way you look at it. It's just another fight.
Another fight I got to win, and I will.
Because you're used to being the underdog.
All the time. All the time.
Wow. So I read online, there's a lot of stuff on you online. Your fights are online. I mean, you're the real deal, Bobby Czyz. So if I remember correctly, and I don't mean to bring up bad things, but you lost a daughter to cancer. Is that correct?
No, I lost my wife.
You lost your wife to cancer.
We were actually divorced, but she had cancer, breast cancer, and it came back 2 times and eventually killed her. Worst day of my life. Without question, worst day of my life.
Even though you two you were not together anymore.
We were still best friends.
You were still best friends.
I took her to a couple of weddings. It was funny because at one of the weddings, I introduced her to my friend's dad. And I said, "This is my ex-wife, Kimberly." And his wife said, "That's really mean to do to your wife." And Kimberly said, "No, we're not married. We're divorced." And then the father says, "We were just talking about you 5 minutes ago. What's the most in love couple in the room? You two won. Our opinion." I said, I still love her, and I'm sure she still loves me, but marriage just didn't work out right.
Wow. So I'm wrapping this up, Bobby Czyz, a remarkable fighter, now retired. If you could do boxing all over again, would you do it?
Sure. I'm in the history books 3 times, and my name. And if you fly to Poland, because my last name is Polish, I'm a legend over there. I couldn't even walk down the street. I have friends that will come from Poland. If you go to Chicago, There are more Polish people in Chicago than any other city on the planet except for Warsaw itself, the capital of Poland. And when I go to Chicago, people they recognize me immediately. And I kind of like that. It's what I worked for. I worked hard for it.
Now, did you have to adhere to the rules of boxers can't get into a fight on the street because your hands literally are a deadly weapon?
No. I've been in some street fights, and I am allowed to stand my ground. If someone comes at me, I'm allowed to stand my ground and respond. But once he goes down, and they always do, I'm not allowed to do anything else. I got to stop right there.
So you've had some guys that start with you, they didn't know who you were.
No, I had guys start with me because they knew who I was.
Oh, wow. They want to challenge you.
Well, most of them were like 6'2", 6'3", and 215, 220 pounds. And at the time, I was 175 pounds, only 5'10". I'm still 5'10", but I weigh a little more. They just thought they said, one of the guys he came at me with his friend, and I hit him first because he was the biggest. And he went down, and I stood over him screaming at him. Excuse me. And he said, Bobby, he knew who you were. He said he just didn't think you could hit that hard. He said, you see how stupid he is? Well, I always tell people all the time, genius has its limits, but stupidity knows no bounds.
Wow. So before I wrap this up, what do you think about President Trump and politics in our country?
I think he's doing the right thing by the country. I really do. And he's doing the right thing because he doesn't need the money. He's got $4 billion. He don't need the money.
He surely doesn't.
He does not need the money. And he's working his ass off. Literally hours and hours and hours a day, more than most people could imagine. And I've read some things, some research that I've done in the background. Some of the stuff he's doing is remarkable and will change our country forever for the better.
Absolutely. So in closing, Bobby Czyz, and I ask this question of people sometimes, is there something I didn't ask you that you want to get off your chest that you want to talk about, that you feel is relevant to your life story?
Not really. You covered the bases pretty well.
To be in the company of a champion, I've been in the company of Mike Tyson before, and he is a good guy.
He's a good guy. He's a nice guy. As long as you're not stabbing at him and
right,
playing with him.
Or don't disrespect him because he gets insulted very, very fast, and I'm sure most of us do.
I would, and it wouldn't be the first time I hit somebody.
Wow,
it wouldn't be the last time.
Wow. Well, good luck with your cancer situation, and as you said, this is just one more fight for you, one more battle. And I think this is one you're going to win. And just to be in your company, man, the first time I met you, I immediately knew the legend that you are. Because all you have to do is go to YouTube and put in Bobby Czyz, and all of these fights come up and your remarkable boxing record and so on. Last question, did you ever look at yourself as the great white hope?
No. And I'll tell you why. People say to me, you're a great white hope. I say, listen, I'm white, but I don't represent you or your family or anybody else. I represent my family and myself. So the fact that I'm white, okay, and I'm hopeful. I'm surely hopeful, but I'm not the great white. I don't represent the country. I just don't. And people just weird. They're weird like that, though, because everybody, and it's funny, too, because they used to call me in the gym the white boy with soul. Because I fought black. I had the rhythm. I had the rhythm and the moves that the black fighters had in the gym. Because that's who taught me. That's who I learned.
Going back to Patterson.
Yeah, and one of my favorite fighters of all time, named Joe Greer, didn't go on to win a world title or anything, but he trained me in the gym. Without him, I'd have never been a champion. Trust me. He taught me what I needed to know, every bit of it.
Last question, Bobby Czyz. Were you ever afraid walking into the boxing ring, going into the boxing ring?
Absolutely not.
No.
No reason to be.
So when a boxer and they're playing the music and you're dancing to the mirror and you're about to walk out, what's going through a boxer's mind?
Well, I don't know if they're all the same, but what's going through my mind is what I've studied, what I've learned, what I need to do to execute this to make it a win. That's what's going through my head.
Were you ever told, like Ali did sometimes, bob and weave, stay away from this guy, he's got a deadly punch?
Well, your trainer go through that in the dressing room and some different, points during the fight. He'll say things he sees that there may not be what we anticipated prior. Excuse me. But sometimes you'll get those instructions, but it doesn't stay in your head all the time. You have what your mindset is to win at all costs, and you've developed that over training for 6, 7, 8, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever amount of time you put in the gym, you did to do a certain thing.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and you really are a living legend. I wish you much success with your cancer battle. I know you're going to beat this. Thank you, man. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Here comes Holyfield again, but this time Bobby Czyz is landing right back with him.
Is he too tired to sit down and then get back up? What's going on? And the fact that
terrific left hand uppercut.
Legendary boxer Bobby Czyz. And that is all the time we have for this edition. You can listen to me, Dominic Carter, weekdays 3 to 4 p.m. live, then back live again midnight to 1 a.m., plus on Sundays 11 p.m. until 1 a.m. Red Apple Podcasts, Talk Radio 77. WABC.
I gotta make it.
Dominic Carter socials on Twitter at Dominic TV and Facebook and Instagram. Dominic Carter TV. Email at dominic.carter@wabcradio.com. Until the next episode, be well. And as Dominic always says, stay positive. The glass is always half full, never half empty. Dominic Carter City Hall.